All right, welcome back to Dank Scott Traders Hub. Yes, apologies for the delay. So without any further ado, let's get into it and start our daily analysis. Father, we say thank you for this morning. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for the beautiful morning. Thank you for the beautiful night you gave unto us, Lord. And as we come to analyze today, we ask of your goodness and of your greatness to be part of us, oh God. May you be the one to give us these great insights that we can use to get signals to take advantage of today. We give you praise, Lord, for yesterday's profits. We say thank you even for today's profits. We love you. We give you all the glory. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. So, as usual, you guys know the drill. As usual, we start with Crash 500. So, I'm not going to waste time today, so we're already late. So good morning to everyone that is joining us right now, wherever you're joining us from. Good morning. Those who are in Uganda, East Africa, it's a morning. And those who are outside, I believe, whatever time it is, you are most welcome. So now let's start with Crash 500. So as usual, we start with the previous day. So yesterday, we were looking for a pullback before we can continue with sales. We didn't see any. Rather, it's got some, like I told you, we are not market makers, we are market followers. So these guys, this asset later got momentum to continue selling. And you can see it broke this support, which is it's another block actually. It's a support. Looking at this level, it had become a support, so it broke that support. So our entry was supposed to be here, right there, when price reacted back there. But it was a weird one because you would not have really known whether to enter there. Yeah, it was a risky one for you to enter right there, so I don't think I would have entered still. So right now it has hit our TP level like we had already anticipated yesterday, that we needed it to reach this other order block, which is our H4 order block, where this buy momentum started from. Now I believe we're supposed to be seeing buys from that kind of level, but I want to remind you that according to daily time frame, this was a break of structure right there. That was a break of structure. And price went ahead, reacted all the way back there, and now it has come back to that previous, to our current lower low. That's where we are currently, according to H4 and daily time frame. So now I want to delete everything that we are not going to be using currently. So delete everything right here, right here, right here. Yeah, all this must now go away, right? So go to H1, delete even this, delete that. Now if we come back to H4, just a minute. Okay, now we see that price is far away from our 10 MA, but according to our CCI, we really see that price is too far away right there to reach our oversold so that we can start buys. But now we have our change of character right there. Those who remember, that was our change of character, and on that change of character we have our order block. Let me mark it again. Yeah, we have our order block. So now that it has reached this level, unless if it breaks it and continues with sales, then it has to react all the way back. Then it has to react all the way back to that level. So we only have two options, but this is the one I'm looking at because this is where the momentum of these buys started from right here. According to weekly, we already need buys. So this weekly candle now has to close below this line here. You see, according to daily, this was a break of structure right there, but according to weekly, it wasn't. It was never a break of structure. That's why buys have to come in as we speak. That's why we need to see buys. So this, before this week ends, buys should be above this line for us not to consider this as a break of structure according to weekly. Yeah, this is our last lower low. This can't be our lower low. This one can't be our lower low. So that's why we take that. If price breaks that, and if this week closes when this candle is like this, then this will be a break of structure for the continuation of sales. But now, according to daily, we already see that. But now all we need is buys to get back up to confirm a reversal, which will mean that this will become our change of character if price breaks that level. If price breaks this level right here, this will become, this is our lower high. If price breaks this lower high right here, then that will become our change of character on the daily time frame. So now that we know that, and now that we know that according to weekly we need to enter buys, then we should be getting a confirmation of buys on H1, and that should be one of those. Should I wait? I doubt I should wait. I don't think I should wait. I don't think I should wait. I don't think I should wait, but I can wait for H1 to confirm. I can wait for H1 to confirm. When it comes back, then I can make my entry right like that. So I can wait. Let me just be patient. So that is, if it fails to get momentum to break this support, then this will not be of any purpose for us, but rather we will see this kind of a move to bring us all the way back there, and then from there we can anticipate another pullback. Then if this pullback fails to break this, this is where we will be getting to start our high move, big moves of uptrend. This is where the big move of an uptrend is going to start from, according to daily, according to weekly, and of course even on H4. All right, so that's it on Crash 500. I will wait for a pullback when price gives me a change of character right here on H1. This is gonna be my change of character level right about there, and then I will wait for a pullback. Then I can enter buys when I'm comfortable. Yeah. All right. Boom 1,000. Boom 1,000. So with boom 1,000, yesterday we had this line there. All we wanted was we had two ways price can go in. When it breaks that and retests, we can enter sales, but broke it and then the retest was not successful. The retest actually gave us a break of structure on H1 right there. So all this stuff, we don't need it. So this move was never successful. It never happened. So what we see here is, I had told you already this earlier here that we are not market makers, so it means price can get momentum, weird momentum to break and get all the way up there, because that's where we wanted price to reach before we can get into sales, big time sales. And clearly you can see price is aiming for that. It is giving us it's still giving us higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low. So right now, yes, it has low momentum, but we know it has to go up there and then we can come in with sales. but right where we are, it is failing to break this level. As we speak, it is failing to break that level, so it means that is going to take some time. That means you don't have to enter any trades on this asset, you just have to wait. So for this one, it's a no-go, really. This one is a no-go. Don't waste your time on this asset. Remember, it's a high leverage asset, and you can't afford to mess with it and try to force trades with it, because it will liquidate you. All right, I think that's it on Boom 1000. That's it on Boom 1000. Let me first see if I can make sense of what I'm seeing currently. We can make sense of that. So if I have that like that, if I have something like that and I go to M15 and I have it confirmed, so it tells me that price is giving us an ascending triangle, and we know that that clearly signifies continuation of the bullish trend. So we wait for price to continue with buys. So if you guess here, you can enter buys, but I advise not to mess with this. Leave it alone. Just leave it until the sales are we are clear of the sales to come in. It should be today. We should be starting sales today, according to daily, according to H4, according to daily and H4. H1 and M15 will be giving us entries. All right, enough of Boom 1000. Now let's go to Boom 500. If you don't mind, you can go ahead and give us a thumbs up if you love the content that I share on this channel. So Boom 500, yeah, this we already knew what was going to happen. So yeah, congrats to everyone that made money on this asset. I shared it with the VIP guys. Yeah, but of course, those who remember in our analysis yesterday, I had told you that if it gives us a pullback around there, we enter with sales. We didn't reach there, but when it broke out right here, I immediately made my entries right there, right here, you can see. So I first entered a buy, and of course I had my tight stop loss, which was here, because I knew if we don't continue buying, you can see it went in buys for like an hour or less, and then it came and took me out, that kind of a buy from that trend line. But when it broke the trend line, I immediately entered the sales, because I knew it was not going to go back inside. So that is it. So that's how we took that. I took my TP on the first TP point, which was this support level. Then it was followed by a retest. By that time, I think I was not in the charts, because I should have entered again when it finished retesting this very retest right here. That was supposed to be our second entry to get in for the second TP, which was this level. Like I had told you, it was calculated from that level, like that right there. That is how we calculated our TP level. And now, as we all see, let's first delete everything that we are not using currently. They have already given us. Now that level was broken out, so do we still need it? I doubt we do, but we can leave it for now. This delete. That rising wedge has served us already, so we can delete. And now go to H4. All right, so our analysis is price to come here, and then we come in with the buys. So we have a break of structure, so we are looking for a lower low. So is it going to react from here and give us buys? H4 is still going for sales. Let's look at daily time frame. daily time frame still needs sells, but the sells are not confirmed fully. Yeah, okay, H4 is not ready, so this is a no-go for me today according to what I'm seeing. Yeah, weekly we need sells, so we are still looking for sells. So I believe sells are still going. We are still looking for sells heavily. We may not see this pullback that I'm talking about. We may not see it. It was supposed to be according to H4, but from what I'm seeing, we may not see it. So I can delete these. Okay, this can remain for now, but we may not see it. So this is a breakout structure. This is a lower low, so we should be anticipating buys to come back to the breaker block. Right about there. So if I know that, then I can wait on H1 for the buys to come in, or I wait for the buys for this retest buy, then I come in with sells, because the general trend is sells or is downtrend. The general trend is a downtrend, so all you can do is now anticipate this move right there and then come in with sells to continue, even to break that and continue all the way down, because like we've seen on H4 and daily, we are likely to continue with sells. We may not see this pullback. Yeah, higher chances are on continuation of sales than this big pullback that I was anticipating. So buys here, let's confirm the buys here. Yeah, M15, we just wait for a reversal signal for this pullback to the breaker block. Yeah, for this pullback to the breaker block. So all we need is a reversal signal on M15, and then we come in with our buys. Once we reach that level, we move out and wait for the sales confirmation to continue with sales all the way down below. That's it on Boom 500. Let's now go to V25S. So V25-1S, apologies, I'm still having flu that is disturbing me, so that's why you keep on hearing me going off for like a minute, less than a minute, and I'll be back. Yeah, so V25-1S, right? Okay, so we did not enter this. It actually went like we had anticipated. So this was yesterday. So let's see. We knew this. So the breakout happened before it can react here. We wanted to enter from this level right here. Those who remember, let me show you that on M15. This is why we wanted a pullback just about there. I think it was according to M5. Then we can come in with buys. But it did not happen, so we couldn't do that. So now we delete this and that, and so the buy came in, broke out, and then we anticipated this pullback, which was on the fair value gap right there. So the first one didn't reach, the second one reached, and now I think we are in the clear to make our entries for the buy to reach there. So I don't think I should wait on levels like this, I don't think I should wait. This is where I enter in with my 0.01 and I enter my buys. I'm a bit late to enter, but I can anticipate this kind of a buy right there. Of course, my first TP will be here. That will be my first TP. So if it reaches right about there, I can take partial profits or I can close. That will be enough for me still. I want to put my stop loss just below this 10 MA. I don't want to put it all the way down. I should be, if I had entered just earlier, I would have put it below this low right here, but I can't. That would be too big for me now. So I need to put it below this 10 MA and just wait and see how price is going to react. But I was quick to do that. I'm hoping it's not going to react back. Why am I saying that? Let me show you the reason why I'm saying that. I can delete this now. This is the move that we want. So I can pull this just here. I can pull this right there and then make it short because this is what we need currently. Now, this is the reason why I'm saying I hope I've not made a mistake, because from what I have here, this can end up becoming a flag. So if you have not yet entered, please wait, because I may have rushed to make this entry, because if this is a flag, then there's no harm for it to react, to retest again down below. This is my low, high, a low, so it's looking for a high here. So if it closes, it's likely to come around there and it can easily come back or break and continue. I hope now you get what I'm saying. So it can easily react from where it is. Just wait. It can easily react from where it is there, or it makes a continuation a bit to make a flag, whatever it decides to do. So if you have not yet entered, please don't enter now. Just be patient. Just be patient. Yes, on H1, price is above our 10 MA, but if you look on M15, price can easily react from where it is and actually give us this kind of a scenario, this kind of a structure right there, like that. It can easily give us that, but I can't say that, I can't conclude with that until this H1 candle closes. Oh, no, this H1 candle has just started. So I think I think it is going to still continue. Let's wait and see. It may continue, but once it goes back into profits, I'm going to close, because it's likely to get up and then once it touches there, it makes a short pullback for this kind of a fair value gap that is about to leave right here. It will come for this kind of a fair value gap, and then our entry will be, our second entry will be here. Our second entry will be here. Once it reaches there, it will make this kind of a pullback right in here, and then this will be our second entry for us to get all the way up there. That is if it fails to break and continue down. But since we have this equal highs and this price rejection on this same level, I don't see it come all the way back down below. I don't see it come all the way back down here. So I'm seeing it reacting that fair value gap to give us another entry for the buyers to reach that target of ours. So I will leave a limit order right here. No, let me just leave it. I will wait and see how this candle closes before I can do that. So for now, let's now go to V75. I was quick to do this entry, but we know that buys are going to come in. That's the fact. The only problem is the stop loss is quite big. I was too early to enter. Yeah, but buys are on and nothing can hold them back. I don't see anything that is going to hold them back. The buys have to reach all the way there. All right, V75. Let's go to V75. Now, this one played games on us and took us, but it was our bad. Why? Because I was looking at an early entry. Yeah, you remember before, this one was right around this level right there. So if when it reached I think here, I started to make my entries. Let me see where. Yeah, when it reached around there, I started to make my buy entries. So it kept on going, and I told the guys on VIP that the buys are on only if price fails to break structure on H1. And when it broke structure right there, it took me out because I had my stop loss down there. Yeah, I had my stop loss right here, so it took me out and I couldn't enter again because that showed that the sales are still continuing. Yes, of course we knew that sales were still continuing because this buy was just a retest. While we were looking for a retest kind of buy to later get in with sales, because we knew that this kind of a structure was going to continue, was going to usher us back into sales. That's what we knew already. Yeah, so that's how I made a loss there. It's not big, it's not that big, so it means I can recover it because this is on H1, so M15. That wasn't a big loss right there. So I entered 2 times, I believe, and I made that kind of a loss. So for now, I can look at today. So today, this we remove because it didn't serve us. Yeah, the sales continued just like we already knew they were going to continue, but not in a way that we thought. It would first react back before it continues. So now we want to see what is happening. Low, high, low, high. So we have something like that right about there. But now we see a fake breakout on this on that daily order block. Actually, it's now a support. So price has reached that level, and you can see price rejection right now, just like when this day started. You can see from there we have price reaching our oversold on CCI. We also see that it has reached that support level, and we see the wick of this current daily candle has. You can clearly see it on the previous H4 candle. The current H4 candle has started as a buy, but we can't conclude yet. So we can actually delete these two and then go to H1. Look at H1. Yeah, it's also oversold. H4 is oversold. Daily has just touched the oversold level. So it means we will be looking at short buys before we can confirm long-term buys according to higher time frames. So that is our change of character on M15. It means that price is gonna come back. So we can only wait for price to give us a pullback all the way back to that order block to take away those highs, and then you can come in with your buys again from there. So for now, no business with this asset. No business with this asset. Just wait until we have a confirmed entry for the buys. On H1, that will be like that. Yeah, and that will be coming to confirm. But then the next day, we may come in with a sell according to H4 to come back to this level to wipe these lows. Then we can come again with the buys. Yeah, we'll be talking about it, but I already see what is about to happen. So let's just focus on what is on now, and that is to wait for this pullback, and then we can come in with a sell, with a buy, I mean, on H1 and M15. So M5, the sales are ready. This kind of a pullback, yeah. If you're a scalper, you can wait for the confirmation for the sales on M5 and M1, and then you come in for that kind of a short pullback sell, and then once it reaches here for us, we'll be ready for the buys. Anyways, that is it on V75. Let's now head over to J50. Jump 50. So J50, we just first go back to H1. So we wanted a pullback here, then we get into buys. Yeah, we saw that breakout, then the pullback happened, but then just reacted to it and continued with sells. Weird. So let's now understand it. Why, what happened? So first go to M15, bring it here. So this is what we had. So the structure later changed from what we see. Let's see. Yeah, the structure later changed, so we don't need it now. Delete it. Now go to H1. So this is our higher high, higher low, failed to go for a new high, came and broke structure, or came and broke that previous higher low and gave us a change of character right about that. This is on H1. Went for a low, came, retested that level to give us a confirmation of the reversal, and now we have our lower low. Now we have our lower low now, so it means we are in a downtrend. We are in a downtrend. That is on H1. Let's confirm on H4. Are we ready for the downtrend? Not really. We know that price now is gonna come up. Why? Because H1 is ready to get into buys. So this tells us that price is gonna come all the way up there to try to take these highs right there, and then once it fails, sales will come in. But are we ready for sales on H4? Let's confirm that. Yeah, we need sales on H4. So that's how the H4 sale is going to be confirmed. But for now, we need buys according to H1. Let's go to M15. We also need buys. So all we need now is a confirmation of reversal on this M15 time frame. We need a confirmation of reversal for these buys to get all the way up there. So for now, we wait. Remember that the general trend currently is going to be sales from what we see. And this pullback, remember I told you we started our buys from here. So this is a breakout structure right here. So this is likely to come all the way here or to this order block. Right about there according to daily time frame. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the right TP level according to daily time frame, and then probably we get to see buys come in again. We'll see about that, but that's for sure what we are likely to see according to this asset. So if I can first go to weekly, what we need sales. So sales is the general trend. So all we need now is to wait for this. This will be buys according to H1, but only if you get a reversal confirmation on M15, and then you can enter your buys to reach the other side. Enough of this asset. Price can easily come all the way here. So I want you to know that it can easily come all the way to this order block before we actually get into buys. It can easily come all the way here. So be ready. Don't just enter buys when it reaches here. It can come and break this and continue down. So just wait. All right, that is enough on J50. So for now, no business, we wait, but we are likely to see some buys today come in. J25, we made money, and then later it reversed and continued with the buys because we already knew this was a falling wedge. So we only traded it, we sort of like scalped it. Those who remember, we needed this kind of a move, but then as time went on, it gave us this structure. Yeah, so that's what happened. It gave us this kind of a structure, and that was of course signifying that buys are going to continue. Yeah. So the morning analysis, we were anticipating something like this. If price gives us a change of character, it did not give us a change of character. This was a fake, just kind of breakout, and you can see it kept on playing like that until it gave us this kind of a falling wedge, and then later broke out and continued with the buys. But we had already taken this money because our entry was there and there. So I remember telling the guys to take their profits right here, right on this level. Me, I had my sales in profits, and they took me out in profits right about there. So that's how J25 worked out yesterday. It's a heavy leverage asset, so you can't afford to put big stop loss levels, so you rather leave the asset alone if you're not sure of the trade, rather than putting the big stop loss levels. All right, today, so we saw breakout there, and now we are seeing something weird. Yes, price is overbought according to H4, but we are seeing a breakout right about there. That is a breakout, and that becomes a break of structure. So it tells us that price has decided not to come all the way back to grab liquidity on this fair value gap, but it has decided to continue with the buys, and we can see that with this kind of engulfing buy candle, which I think happened early this morning. This kind of a candle right there, that shows the momentum of buyers that are still in the market. So you can't afford to look for sales now, and neither can you look for buys until you have a retest. Let's see. Oh, that was a retest actually, but you don't know. H1 is oversold, overbought, H4 is overbought, so you can't just enter buys unless price fails to break this level, and then you come in with sales. But right where we are, it's just a mess for you to anticipate to make any entries. Right now it's very crazy. You can't just do that. So delete this for now. Let's first go to M15. M15 needs sells. Yeah, but either way, you can't. You just have to wait for a confirmation of these sells. Price is failing to break this level, so I'm anticipating consolidation. We may see consolidation for a while before it decides to break this and continue, or break up and break the upside and continue with the buys. So for now, this is a no-go for me. I can't trade something like this. Yeah, you can't trade something like that. This is a no-go for me. Yeah, I will wait for it this fair value gap is still valid. I just can't go without mitigating it. If I go to daily time frame, it has to come. It has to come. So wait, let's give it a... Oh yes, I told you that we may not. Yesterday I've remembered. I told you that after seeing on the daily, price had already reacted to that order block, and then buys started from that order block, that daily order block. So since it mitigated that order block, this fair value gap on H4 may be invalid to actually focus on. So the buys may continue actually from what we saw yesterday, this order block being mitigated by this candle here. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so no business with this asset. No business. Until I get an entry for the buys, I have no business with this asset. So leave it on M15, no, H1 actually. Leave it on H1 and let's go for J10. Let's go for J10. Sorry, I didn't put J25, but now we are on J10. So J10, we have about 11 minutes. So J10, H1, no, yesterday, when that we wanted this kind of a fake breakout and then we come with a sell, it didn't happen. It actually happened, but it went all the way back to this level. So coming back to this level, it failed. Yeah, we got a breakout and then a breakout even on this fair value gap, and yeah, we even got a breakout on that level, that resistance level, and price never looked back. So this was supposed to be our entry for the buys, but we couldn't. So yeah, I did not enter that, and we couldn't make money on this asset, so we can delete everything right here. Delete. All right, so if we go to H1 now, what are we seeing? Delete these two. Excuse me. If we go to H4, we have that order block, and price is now reaching our retracement level on CCI right there, CCI and RSI. So if I go to H1, I see that sales are ready to come in, and that's what we've been waiting for. So right there, so if I go to H4, I need buys to start from there. If I go to daily time frame, this will be confirming our buys to start from this level. So go to H4, that order block, go to daily, price can come to this daily order block and react and give us entries for buys, or it can react all the way back to that H4 order block and the buys start. So you need to know that. But also I told you it can easily give you a fake breakout down below here and then buys start. So you need to be knowing that you have to anticipate all angles. All right, so currently we are consolidating. This tells us that this consolidation is going to give us continuation of buys, and then later sales come in. So it's gonna be like this, the buys and then sales come in later. That's how it's going to be. So for now, I have no business with it, because this kind of a consolidation signifies continuation of buys. So the buys are likely to come in, but later this will be accumulation, then manipulation, then distribution, for those who know AMD kind of strategy. So that's what you can anticipate, because we've already seen that H1 we need sales, H4 we will be also looking for sales, but not now, because it hasn't yet touched our retracement level. So it can easily first go up before it comes for this kind of a sell that we need. So that's why you can anticipate the accumulation and then the mitigation or the manipulation. Mitigation of the early sellers, meaning it takes liquidity pool above here. Once it mitigates it right about there, then we come in with sales, just like we already know that are coming in. So that is it on J10. We have about 6 minutes. Let's go for our last asset, and we call it a day, which is gold. So gold yesterday, change the name here. Gold, we wanted a pullback here to the breaker block. Yeah, right about there. We had a fair value gap, we had an order block, we had everything. But price decided to come for this fair value gap actually, and mitigated it in the middle. You can see, came for that 50% of that fair value gap. Didn't go for the breaker block. It came for that fair value gap. Once it mitigated it, immediately buys came in. Buys started again. So we couldn't enter. I didn't make any entries on gold yesterday because my focus was for this, but it never came through, and I saw what it did later when when the buy had already gone. So that's how I missed that buy entry. But we already knew that price was going to continue with buys to reach our target. What is our target? That was our target, our daily fair value gap. We've been following this. I told you where price was going. I don't know when. Let me see when I said when we started to actually follow that, to look for this. I think it was around here. That was on June, towards the end of June, and we knew that price was coming there. So if anyone was a swing trader and had his entry right there and waited for price to reach there, that was big money for you, because we already knew that it was coming there. So now, according to our anticipation, we wanted to start buys, sales from that angle. But something is still not right. Yes, weekly we need sales, but then daily time frame is still a bit weird. But sales are going to come in, so let's wait and see. So this fair value gap has given us what we wanted, so we can delete everything now right about here. Delete all this. Delete all that. So we need now sales. Now these sales can easily come for this fair value gap right about there, but now this fair value gap was already mitigated right there. So if it was mitigated, price can easily actually go all the way for this order block. Yeah, it can easily come all the way for this order block according to daily time frame. Let me go to weekly. I see, yeah, I feel like it has to go all the way down below. Now this week, this high here, we are seeing it as a weak high, meaning daily these market movers can actually push price to break that high and liquidate the early sellers who may be having their stop losses above here. Yeah, they can easily liquidate them. But I can't say that you can't enter sell. Now you can't enter sales. It's not yet ready. Sales are not yet ready for us to enter. For us, the intraday trade, what we can do is go to H4 and just wait. H4, we need a reversal signal, of which we know we need to wait for a change of character. Once we have a change of character, probably once price goes up and comes and breaks that will be our change of character. But until then, price is still in an uptrend. You can't afford to enter sales now until you have a reversal signal. So what are we seeing currently? Price is consolidating, that is for sure. H1 and M15, price is in a consolidation zone. And that tells us, like just like how I showed you on jump 10, this consolidation can happen for like a whole day and later gives you a manipulation, probably in the New York. It can easily give you a manipulation. Once it gives you a manipulation, then it comes in with sales, like we already need, with sales from there. So you need to know that. So manipulation is happening currently. It can keep happening around there, and later in the New York gives you a manipulation right about there. And late night, probably when the Asians start, the sales come in with enough momentum. So you need to be ready and know how these markets work. Most of you, I know you already know, so this is not news. You already know some of these things. All right, let me wish you guys before I wish you a good day, let's do a recap and we call it a day. It's already time. Let's do a recap and we call it a day. All right, we started with crash. We need a reversal signal, and currently we are seeing that as one can say it's a double bottom, one can say it's going to be a change of character. So all we need is a pullback later to give us an entry for the buys. So for now, we have no say. Boom 1000, yeah, I told you it's coming here after seeing that, but we know it's going to continue buying. It can continue buying towards that level, and then we come in later with sales. Yeah, just know that. So for now, no business with it. Boom 500, we need a pullback there, then we can continue with sales. But then for us to enter the buys, we need a confirmation of reversal here. We haven't gotten one here, but we are consolidating, so it means later in the day it will get into spikes to reach all the way there. Then you can enter your sales from such a level. All right, that is on Boom 500. V25s, I told you the buys are on, and you can see it has come back to touch into that level, so it means it's going to continue. But then once it reaches that trend line or some level, I will move out and wait and see the pullback it makes once it gives us a new high. Yeah, but for my entry, it's still in the buy entry. V75, we need a confirmation of this retest or this reversal, so all we need is a pullback and then we can enter our buys. Jump 50, it's still selling like I told you, so no business. Don't be confused by this kind of an order block that price is going to reverse here. Price is still very bullish. It's going to continue and probably it will react from this order block. So for now, no business. We should have actually entered our short sales when we were here. I missed to enter that, but we should have entered right there because I had already seen that. Yeah, that is J50. J25, we need a pullback there, and probably once it fails to break that, then you can come in with sales. But if it breaks that, then the buys are continuing. That will be a break of structure. So just hold on. this is a no-go for us. J25, I told you, it can easily continue consolidating here, then goes up and then comes in with sales later. So leave it alone. Today's market is very slow. This, I've told you, it's consolidating. It's likely to give us later a fake breakout or a manipulation kind of move to that level, and then we can come in with sales later. But for now, no business with it. No business. And lastly is gold. Gold, it's consolidating. Same as J10, it's likely to finish consolidation later in the day, probably around the New York session opening. And then we see the manipulation move of the buys. Then we come in with the sales later. But for now, we are consolidating. It's in a consolidation zone, and you just can't mess with that. Just leave it until the New York session probably starts and we see what's going to happen. All right, that's it for today. So for today, let me see which assets are we going to focus on. Yeah, Crash is going to be one of those assets. Boom 1000, not really, we'll see about that. Boom 500, yes. So Boom 500, Crash 500 are one of my focus assets today. This I'm already in, so it means I will keep on focusing on it, because I'm likely to make another entry to break out this level here and push us all the way up. So I'll be focusing on V25 also, V25 1S. Then the rest, those are my 3 assets, so it means I may not focus more than 3. Yeah, so that's it. So today I'm focusing on those 3. I'm going to be focusing on Crash 500, Boom 500, and V25S, unless any of other assets gives me what I want. But until then, no business with those other assets. I'm going to be focusing on Crash 500, Boom 500, and V25 1S. I hope you had a great time. Please, the month of August is at hand. You can subscribe for the VIP signals, and the number to use is on your screen. And of course, even the mentorship class for August. Registration is open currently because this is the last week, so you can do that still and join the mentorship class. Otherwise, I want to wish you guys a good day, happy trading. Remember to use your risk tolerance that you've already calculated to manage your risks as you're trading. If you don't have any risk management plan, you are doomed to liquidate your account. So look into that and have a risk management plan before you liquidate your account. Otherwise, happy trading. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye bye.